Okay, I'm gonna install Chatterbox TTS. I found on Open WebUI their docs, they have a way to they show you how to install these 5 right here. So I already used Kokoro Fast API because it is fast. The Chatterbox TTS, I like the cloning feature. It works really well, but it takes more GPU to run, and it still takes a few seconds to generate text. So I'm not going to use it all the time. I did just clone my voice to, you know, mess with people and things like that. But in this tutorial, I'm going to install this one from Open WebUI. So if you scroll down here, it has the Docker install. So I use Proxmox and Docker in an LXC container. So I've already got Docker installed. So I have AnythingLLM installed and just Watchtower, which I install in everything. So right now, this is where I was playing with this, one of the other speech things that I didn't get working very well. Anyways, one thing that I found out was that originally inside the LXC, the Docker, so the root storage location is just root. And I was trying to do like home, Docker, something like that. And I got it working, but you had to jack with the permissions. But if you just do it in your default directory of root, then you don't have to mess with permissions or anything. So that was kind of painful to figure out. Anyways, so Chatterbox TTS. So if you scroll down the page, you'll find the Docker installation. So I'm just going to one at a time. And I'm just going to install it right in the root directory where it just loads. So it made a new folder, Chatterbox. And so in here you have all the things that it comes with. So then it says enter the directory, use Docker optimized environments variables. So I'm going to do this. And then choose your deployment method. So this is for the Docker Compose file. So I read a little bit about it, and it said the UV was like the recommended, a better one. And I use it with the front end. So this one is just the API only. And then this is the API plus the front end. So if you want to be able to clone voices, you have to use the front end. So I use the UV version with GPU. So GPU plus front end UV. So I'll grab this. I'll put it in here. And so now it's running and installed. So right here it says for the front end, it's 4321. And this container's 21. actually. Yeah, so one thing I forgot to mention is whenever you clone a container in Proxmox, it keeps the same MAC address. So I had the same MAC address as this other Docker container, so it wasn't able to find the port because they were both had an IP conflict. So what I did was I come in here, edit, and I changed the MAC address, and then I just rebooted it. So now it has 102. And so if I go, so it's 102 and then 4321. So if I do that, 102, 4231, 4321, then here it is. So actually, when I had it installed before, I guess that's why it didn't take any time to download. It did clone the voices. It has the voices that I cloned before. I actually took some Kokoro voices and cloned them just so I could have, it didn't have any voices. And so I'm going to go ahead and clone one just to go through the example. So I'm going to add a voice, drop it in there, my voice. And that's how long it takes. I mean, it's super fast. So then I'll get some text. And I'll put that in there. Then I'll use my voice and I'll generate it. And this little pop-up window comes up. And so one of the things I didn't like about it too is that so these are just two 6 gigabyte VRAM cards, and it sits at like nearly 75% of one. So like over it's 4.4 gigabytes of VRAM. And that's when it's just at idle. So here it generated the voice. So
we recommend running with the front-end interface so you can upload the audio files for the voices you'd like to use before configuring Open WebUI's settings. If started correctly, see guide above.
So it sounds pretty good. It's more doing it the way I read it. So what I did was, to make the voice, I actually asked ChatGPT for some paragraphs of text so that I could make the recording. So I would get all the phonics or whatever. So one Sunday morning, an explorer named Alex discovered an old rusty key, right? So that's what I had read to make this voice. I mean,
we recommend running with the front-end interface so you can upload the audio files for the voices.
It sounds pretty good. And so then you have these advanced settings. And so they're not like what you think they are. And also you could actually adjust them out of range. And so I played with them a little bit. Then you have to regenerate the voice. And so you can see it's still using almost 4.5 gigabytes of VRAM. It just took a little step up. So
we recommend running with the front-end interface so you can upload the audio files for the voices you'd like to use before configuring Open WebUI's settings. If started correctly, see guide above.
So that's pretty much it. I mean, that's how to install it. It records the different ones, so they're always sitting in there and you can clear them. But it's very simple to clone a voice. Like I said, I would use it because you could actually tune it up pretty good to have like natural sounding voice. But it just takes up too much GPU, and this Kokoro is just so much faster. So that's pretty much everything. If you have any questions, ask them in the chat, and I'll put, so the way I set up my GPUs is a digital spaceport. So his videos are fantastic, and he has like his website where where you can see how to do everything. And some of the older videos, they don't always work exactly like they're supposed to, but I usually just plug it into ChatGPT, whatever error I get, and then I can still manage to get through and have everything working properly. But this is how I got the GPUs set up for the LXC containers. And just so you know, you can't have the LXC containers with GPU support and VMs with GPU support. It's one or the other. So I tried both, and I actually prefer the LXC containers because they're a lot lighter weight. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.